Hello, I'm Farfetched Cards, and today we are reviewing some of the main purchases I've made in the last month when the market has took a dip. I'm obviously hoping that I've bought at some sort of low. I can't tell if I have or not. We will see. I might do a review video later on to see whether we look back and we say, wow, there were some really good buys, or wow, you were really bad at this. This was a terrible time to purchase. You could have got all those for half the price. Either way, I thought they were good buys at the time, and yeah, I thought it would be good to review it, see if you agree. Might give you some inspiration. Dip is still happening. Maybe I bought too early. Maybe you guys can grab better deals. So yeah, I think we'll start with raw. So I'll do some of the raw I bought, some of the graded cards, and some of the sealed I have purchased. So first up, Aerodactyl V. I've got myself a raw copy of this. I would have loved to have picked up a PSA 10, but it's not really dipped that much. It's 400 quid. I have one already that I picked up for 250 a while ago, and I was very happy with that. And had the price crashed back down to 250 again, I would have picked up another one. But as it happens, it was only the raw that really saw a hit here. So I love this card. You'll see on the sleeper picks of the day. This is one of my faves. And as you can see, took a big dive from about 150 down to I purchased mine for 100 quid. Looks like it's apparently gone up a little bit already, which is a good sign for me. But I think it's by no means too late to purchase anymore. I think there's still good deals to be had. As I've said before, the grading play is really good. 3.4 times for an over £100 card is a good rate of return. And it grades well with Ace as well. Good rate of return for Ace, considering they usually go for a lot lower. Really nice card from Lost Origin, which is getting very, very pricey to buy. And yeah, good time to buy. So I picked up one of these, really good. Picked up a Dragonair, and when I say a Dragonair, I mean about 10. Just because I really like this card. It's 151. I just wanted to stock up. I have a couple of PSA 10s of this as well, and I did buy one more. I've not particularly called it out, but I'll call it out now. So I think I grabbed one for about 150, 140. Which I like that price. It's 33% gen rate. So I grabbed one of those and I grabbed about 10 raw. At about 25, I think. Between 23 and 25. It was they were all over the place. I was trying to find clean copies, but I did just grab a few that I knew wouldn't be gradable. Just because I like the raw. It's been to 31 before. I think it will go to 40 in not too long. So I was just happy to get some copies. Great Pokemon, great art from a great set that's going out of print. I wanted to just make sure I've got a decent holding before it potentially takes off. Time will tell. Same story really with the Ninetales. Came back down from sort of a £25 price point. I bought a few for about 19, 18. I bought a couple for 16. It says on here the low was 18, but I definitely sneaked a couple for 16. These have been going down, and Obsidian Flames, not everyone's favourite set, but I love this Ninetales. It's a beautiful card. Really cool art. I think Ninetales as a Pokemon's really cool. I'm a big fan of the original 151. I'm a 90s kid, and I was, base set was my introduction to Pokemon, so get hitting the nostalgic feels. I think this just has real mythical, cool vibes. So yeah, I grabbed about another 10 copies of this, to be honest, and I already had quite a few. So big fan. I think it will do good things in the future, but time will tell. Salamence. So I have so many Salamences because I really believe in this card. Now, I'm not saying you should too. I bought loads when it was sort of 70, which is high. It's like the higher end. I just, I believe this card will be 100 to 150 in the future. Now, I wouldn't recommend it at 70 because that's just my gut. But I think at its current price point of 50, I think I can safely recommend it. It's an amazing SIR. Cool, really cool art. Beautiful. As I said, I have high hopes for it. But even if you don't share my enthusiasm, I think 50 is an amazing price point for such a good looking card. And I've said it before, I think Journey Together has a good chance of being short printed. It's sandwiched between some really big sets, and I think it's kind of overlooked. And I think the Pokemon company is very good at making money. And they do usually focus on reprinting the sets that will make them the most money. And it'll probably get some level of reprint, but it might be one of those where it's reprint light, if you know what I mean. I also picked up a few PSA 10s just because I really like the card. I have graded one myself, and I've got 2 more in with PSA at the moment, so fingers crossed on those. But it's got a nice PSA price, 255. I grabbed a Magikarp at 150. Annoyingly, I bought one for 135, which was an amazing price, but then I realized it was collection only. And I said, can I just send you the money to send it to me? And we got in a big sort of backwards and forwards, and we cancelled the purchase, and they said they were going to relist it, and they just didn't, and then they've just ghosted me. And it happens, you know, you win some, you lose some. But I grabbed one. I already had 2, so now I have 3, and yeah, it's a great card, beautiful. I'm a big fan of Shinji Kanda. I know some people aren't, but I think most people are, so I'm in the majority on that one. And yeah, price point really good. Dipped nice and low down to 150. And I know it's an illustration rare, but just look at it. And it's got the PSA 10 allure. And the one I bought is definitely not a PSA 10. Probably a PSA 8, honestly. But I think it's still a good card. And I think the raw will go back up to 250, 220, and possibly 250. So yeah, grabbed myself one of those just to have a couple. Quite like having multiple copies. I did buy my first Reshiram EX, mainly because I just think it's a really cool card, but it had steadily been declining. It came out at 320, and it's been going down, 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 gently, gently, gently. And I bought mine at 200 flat, which was really, I thought was a really good price. Now, who knows whether this will go further down or not, but I know the black and white rares have pretty hard pull rates, and I think it's really cool. I prefer this to the Zekrom. I know some people like the Zekrom, but I think this sort of white vibe, the cool texture, it looks really cool in person. Really great. I was happy with 200, honestly, and I graded it with Ace, and I got a 10, so that's cool. I haven't listed it for sale or anything, but apparently I could get 314 already back, so that's a nice little return already. Potential, not actualized. It wasn't PSAable. That would have been nice, 634, but the centering wasn't quite there, so we had to go to Ace with their slightly lax centering requirements. But a win is a win, and we take those every day. It's Oricorio EX. Now, this is one where I've gone out on a limb. As you might see here, I bought 30 of them. We will see whether that was a good decision or not. I have a feeling they will be cheaper, but I don't know how much cheaper. I know in the US, they are much cheaper. They're like $15 something, would be like 13 quid over here. But they have so much more supply. They have a crazy amount of supply. I personally looked at the card, saw it was an SIR exclusive promo from what I think will be an expensive box, and I said, I'm happy to pick these up for 25 or less. It was a decision I made. I waited. They were starting at like 50 quid each. Didn't buy any, obviously. And I have purchased, I saw a bulk lot on Card Market, and I bought 21 at once, so that it was 25 quid a card exactly, including postage and packaging. So we'll see whether that was a good decision or not. I'm happy with it. I think in the long run, this will be 50, 75, 100, you know, depending on how much time you wait. I think it's at least a £50 card. It's a Shinji Kanda. I really think it's really cool. It's an SIR as well. It's not an illustration rare, it's an SIR. And the box, I think, has a lot of potential to do very well. Phantasmal Flames, Charizard, UPC. Yeah. This is one where I'm crossing my fingers a bit, but I feel fairly safe. I think all that'll happen is if this goes down to 15 or even 10 in the UK, I'll just buy some more copies and it'll average out lower, you know. I think this is great, and I think I was happy to secure a decent holding at 25. And if it does drop lower, I'll just get some more. Um, I think eventually it will come back. Next up, this one's shown on the sleeper pick of the day as well. Umbreon. It's a Cosmos Holo. You can't see it on here. It's written though. And it's the Swoosh 129 promo. It's from the Evolving Skies Triple Blister, which is about £150 to buy to get this promo card. So I think it's undervalued in general. As you can see, the price has been all over the place. I very nearly bought a PSA 10. Had an option to buy it for about 270. Decided against it. I don't know if that was a good decision or not. It's got a really low gem rate, and they have been pretty expensive in the past. Like if I include its PSA line here, it did go up to sort of 310 before. I think I saw some sell for 350 in the past. I decided it probably wasn't the play, so I just bought about 20 of these for I think tried to average out at £7 each. I was sort of shopping around. I think on eBay sales this graph is going off. I bought quite a few off Card Market because they had them cheaper. So yeah, I just loaded up on them. I think they're a £20 card. Given the set they're from, I think it's just a matter of time. So if I see them at £7, I just grab as many as I can, and then move on with my day and put them away. And in a couple of years, I think they're at least double, if not triple. So I also bought a few Greninjas. It says it's £35. But I saw on Card Market 4 of them for £25. So I bought all of those, and I was very happy with that. So it was great. I think it says there's one for still someone there for £25. I'm not going to buy any more. I'm happy with that. So have at 'em. I really love this card. It's really cool. The Kingdra, I could find no such good deal, so I didn't buy one there, but I did grab a few Greninjas. This was a card that I'd previously bought when it was really low in the past for like £10 each, and I loaded up on them. I bought about 20 of them. I ended up selling them for about 35 to £40 each in this sort of region, which was really good return, and helped me buy other stuff. And yeah, it ended up going up to nearly 50 quid a card, and now it's dipped back down. On eBay, I think you can buy them for 35. As I said, I saw them on Card Market for 25, and that was a no-brainer for me. So I just went in and grabbed a few because I think this is a great card. 40 quid minimum in the future, if not 50, 60. I think the Kingdra is in the exact same league, and they are kind of equivalent. So if I see these for sort of sub 30, I buy them. Right, that's all of our raw cards. Then what you saw before, we're on to our graded cards. So I bought another copy of this Mewtwo V-Star from Crown Zenith. I already have 2. I bought them, I think it's sort of 200 and what's my average price here? Let's have a little sneak peek. 290 I'd bought them before, and so I just bought one today. I think I got it for 260, which I was pretty happy with. It's a great card. You know, it's literally got Mewtwo battling Charizard, which, if you just say out loud, is great. The raw, if I include the raw price in this, you know, the raw is 150, and it had reached 170. The PSA 10 did reach 420 before. yeah, and it's dipped back down, and I just think, this card's great, and Crown Zenith is not going to get much cheaper. People aren't just going to say, "Oh, we hate Crown Zenith now." It's an amazing set. I think it will just go up and up, and I think it was a really good time to buy before, and I got in another one even cheaper. So yeah, every day with those sorts of things, I think pretty great buy. And I'm basically buying it with the 6 months to 2 years time frame in my mind, because the Pokemon market's really unpredictable. So I will probably try to let this go for 500 if it gets there in whatever time frame. It's probably what I'd do. And then if it gets there quickly, maybe I sell one for 500 and then I tier them 550, 600. And who knows? Maybe I'll never get there. Maybe everyone will decide they hate Mewtwo and Charizard and Crown Zenith, and that would have been a bad buy. But that's my plan anyway. My hopeful plan for that card. Then I bought a PSA 10 of this Zapdos EX in a PSA 10 from 151. Now I managed to, you see it's 340. I don't know if 340 is a great price. I picked one up because I saw that the US had dipped significantly more than us. I picked one up for $250, which was great, and then had to pay a bit of postage. And I think, including the customs charges, which I'll have to pay, it works out at about £250. So I just thought that was a great price. Even though I have to wait quite a few weeks for it to be delivered, I was more than happy with that. I think this card is great. I did have one before that I think I bought for 170, and I sold it for, it was 350 at one point. It did go up to, what was its high? 340, no, 440. So I sold a tiny bit early, but I think that was fine. And it's now back to that 350 mark. So I thought I'd grab another one. I missed having it. I actually think it's really great. But in general, I think the raw is a good price as well. But yeah, just saw a cool deal from the States and jumped on that. So I grabbed one more for 250. Hopefully that'll serve me well. Groundon, PSA 10. Now this card was going a bit crazy at one point. I was seeing listings, cheapest listings on eBay was for like 600 quid for the PSA 10. I don't know if anyone actually bought at that price, but it looks like people did buy for just around the 500 mark, sort of 450 to 500, and then it came back down. Currently about 306. I picked up a few copies for 280, I think was the price point I went for. I picked up 3 more. I think I have 5 in total now. I just think Groundon, this card, it's a really good buy. In general, raw and sub 300, because it's quite hard to grade. It has a good multiplayer, and it's recently took a dip. And from what I have seen of leaked sources, I don't know if it's true or if it's just something that was being circulated around PokeBeach and the PokeNotify community, which I am a part of, as well as the PokePulse Discord. Shout out the website I'm on, PokePulse. Did see that there was rumors of a Ruby and Sapphire set on the horizon. Potentially, it could be the 30th anniversary one, or just one in the future. I think it's fairly sure that at some point they will visit Ruby and Sapphire Generation, Groundon, and Kyogre. So when it does, I imagine this card will appreciate appropriately. I think the raw will go over 100, probably 100 to 120, possibly more. And I think the PSA 10 will go back up to 500. Who knows? Maybe a bit more than that. So at 280, I was happy with that. I think that's a good buy. I think I'll see some good returns within the year on that. But who knows? As I said, we shall look back and see if I was correct or not. Mesprit, I grabbed one of these because it was nice and cheap. Got one for 65 quid for a PSA 10 Mesprit. I like this card. I think it's cool. I mean, it's not the most flashy card in the world. It kind of, some people were trying to fit it together with the Latios and Latias, and it sort of goes together. I don't know if that's intentional or not. It's got similar vibes. They're all sort of floating in the air, flying in the air in this sort of same sort of art style. So maybe it is an art that does fit together, but maybe not perfectly. And yeah, the raw's been going down a little bit, so it's down to like nine quid from sort of 12 quid. I do have a couple of these raw as well, but the PSA 10, sometimes I think if there's a nice card and the PSA 10 is sort of between 55 and 70, I really don't feel like there's too much risk there. 60 quid is kind of the bottom for PSA 10s in English for sets that aren't incredibly easy to PSA 10. Gem rate on this is 35%, so it's by no means easy. And so even though that's an 8.2 times multipliers, I'm pretty happy to pay it. I think usually I have found that these sorts of purchases, you can at least sell them for 100 quid when the market goes up a bit, maybe. Buy at 70, sell for 100. If you're lucky, if Surging Sparks pops off, or this card gets one of those weird buyouts from people, those groups that do that, then maybe you sell it for 150. Nice little W money. Who knows? It was a good price for me, so I bought that. Now Eevees, PSA 10 Pokemon Center stamped Sleeping Eevee promo from the Prismatic Evolutions Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box. I have loads of these. I think I have 8 now, which is probably excessive, but I think this card is amazing. I think in terms of Elite Trainer box promos, you've got an Eevee. It's cute. It's asleep. It's got a cool background. I think, I put it in the same category as the Charmander from the Obsidian Flames ETB in terms of art quality. It's got kind of a really nice vibe, really unique art that people would actually want in their collection, as opposed to just sort of, it's the only way to get it, but I don't really like the art. This, I think it's a really nice art. And then it's from Prismatic Evolutions and the Pokemon Center ETB, which is not a cheap item. It's worth hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and it's only going to get more expensive. I remember these raw came out at the market at about £100. They're at the moment 50 quid. I've bought a few more raw for 50 quid because I think these Eevee cards will be worth at least 120. Anywhere from 100 to 150, I think, easily in the future. Give it another year or so. Sorry, quick water. Yeah, and so the market price for these PSA 10s, the lowest it's ever been is sort of 250. I grabbed a few at 300, I believe. Grabbed about 4 at 300. And then I've grabbed some more at this sort of 350. Grabbed one for 320, one for 350, another one for 350. And another one for around that mark to bring me up to 8. And I think it's going to be worth over a K, at least in the next 2 years. So we'll see if that's true, see if I'm off on that. But all I know is it did reach £550. I think a couple sold for 600 in October, September. So I'm just saying, the market has shown that people will buy this for about 600 quid. It's took a dip, so I've just re-upped on it. I think easily a great card that will be worth. Yeah, I think before the year's out, it'll be over 600, and then wait a little bit longer, we'll be heading to 900 plus. Yeah, and then it just depends on your patience and when you feel like selling. So I love this card. It's stocked up. Very big fan. Next one, Giratina V-Star in a PSA 10. Did a sleeper pick video on this. It's the chase card of Crown Zenith. Click into the PSA 10 so you can see it. I bought these for I bought one for 300, one for 330, one for 320. I have 6 total now, similar to the EV. Really believe in this card, and it dipped back down, so I saw it as a time to re-up. I had about 3 before. I bought another 3 in this dip, all around that sort of 330 to 350 price point. I think I grabbed one for 300, which was especially good. They used to be much cheaper. They used to be sort of 250. I think I missed the boat on that. But nonetheless, I really like it. There's a decent pop, but it's the chase card for Crown Zenith, and it's Giratina. It's a gold card. I think all the gold cards will continue to be a sort of aspirational collection. People would want to have all the gold cards, especially in a PSA 10. And yeah, this one popped off. It was sort of 600. I saw a few go for 700 before. And people were kicking themselves for not buying it 500 at one point. They were going, I literally saw Discord messages from multiple people like, oh, why didn't I buy it at 500? I knew it was going to get to 700. And it's dipped back down. And I hope those people have bought it for 330, because yeah, they feel really stupid if it goes back up to 700 and then they're kicking themselves about 500 or 300 again. You got to buy the dip when it actually happens. So and it looks like by this larger line, quite a few people bought at this lower point. Yeah, good one. Definitely a 700 plus card in my mind in the next year. And then we're on to sealed. So, in the UK, I don't know if this applies to America, but we had a recent drop of Surging Sparks Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, and it crashed the price down. They were previously going for £263. Now down to sort of 110. So I bought 10 of them, which might be a bit excessive. We'll see. Bought 10 of them, and there's still plenty going for this amount. I know lots of other people who stocked up. 10 of them for between 100 and 110. I think that's a crazy good price. I know it's double MSRP, but it's a Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box for a set that is good. It's not like the greatest set in the world, but it's a good set. It's a solid set. It's up there. It's sort of A tier for Scarlet and Violet. It has a great promo, the Magneton. I have loads of, which is a Shinji Kanda, and it's already a year old. So it's not like brand new either. And yeah, just a great price. It's going to go back up to this price. There's no question in my mind. And then it'll probably go a bit higher depending on how long you wait. So yeah, bought 10 for 110-ish, 105. And yeah, I expect pretty much to double in the year. I can't say no to that. I also bought, there was a similar drop in the UK of White Flare Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes and Black Bolt Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes from the Pokemon Center website, and all the scalpers or just people looking to turn a quick buck have listed these boxes for 80 to 90. I bought I think I bought 6 Black Bolt boxes for, it was about 90 each. I bought another 3 of these Reshiram, the White Flare ones, for about 85. Yeah, I mean that's 30 more than MSRP. There are sets that have normal Elite Trainer boxes for similar pricing. It's just incredibly cheap, and I know it's a very early set. Only came out a few months ago, which is why it's a bit on the cheaper side. There's more around. I know there was a decent print run, and then we've had a reprint. I think White Flare and Black Bolt in the medium to long term they're huge sets. I mean, their set values are about 2k each. They're up there with Destined Rivals in terms of set value. and they have a ton of really cool chase cards. I had the Pokemon Center stamped promo from the White Flare box in my Sleeper Picks of the day because it has a crazy low gem rate. So I think it will be worth a decent amount just raw, which will push this box up. And yeah, I just, any set that is A tier or higher, and I would consider White Flare and Black Bolt to be A tier or higher, that has a Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, and you can buy it for sub £100, is a no-brainer in my mind. So I grabbed myself a few of those, and there you have it. I did buy a few other oddments, but these were the main ones that I bought. A mix of sealed, mainly focusing on Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, decent number of graded cards, and a decent number of raw. So yeah, I think my budget is running thin, so I don't think I'll be buying too much else. But we'll have to see how long this dip lasts. I know a lot of people have been suggesting the Ascended Heroes release will possibly pop things up again. I tend to agree, but it depends. They're doing that weird staggered release, so we'll see whether that does the trick or not. Either way, Pokemon has been running in cycles for the last 30 years, so it's just a matter of time. I'm in no rush. I'm happy with all these purchases. I do think maybe I will revisit this first video 6 months down the line and see how these purchases have done. And we can all make fun of me if I've done bad decisions, or we can all celebrate and boost my ego if not. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, please do give a subscribe. I have 1 subscriber at the moment. Thank you, whoever that is. You're the real MVP. But yeah, give me some feedback. I've been doing shorts on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok for the Sleeper Picks of the day, which is basically just what I think is a really good buy in terms of it's low risk, won't go that much lower, and it has a good chance of, either exploding in price or appreciating steadily over time. So thank you for watching. Have a lovely rest of your day, and it's the weekend. Yeah, enjoy. Over and out.